So I wanted to show that update and recovery. And when I did this the last time, so I should be able to go to recovery options. Good, it's working again, right? So this is full screen with that. So what happened the last time, whatever we did, and all that stuff we were clicking and moving around, something went wrong. Okay. And when I tried to go into the recovery again, it was broke. Again, it's a build, right? This is an early test build.
That's right.
But this is that preview, those preview builds there, and here's the new option, right? Choose how fast you like new preview builds. Set slow by default. Yeah, but I think I'm going to change mine to fast.
I set mine to fast. I want to see, and there's nothing there now. So what that basically does is it steps you in one circle in towards the more frequent builds of Windows 10. So there's probably a build or two a day that gets done and compiled in the operating system group. I remember they did some pictures or videos showing the servers that do that kind of stuff. But so you have the option to get in a little closer to those quicker builds, and then if you don't want to run that risk, then you don't. I think I ran a little poll on my website, and right now it's running about 70% of people said they're going to jump on the fast that are testing Windows 10. People want to see new stuff. I mean, that's why there's 1 million people that have downloaded and signed up for Windows Insider already. People love seeing new stuff. That's what I was so envious about before I became an MVP or a beta tester even. I used to be very envious of the guys who were beta testing Windows because they got to see the cool stuff before it was out. Right. And then I got on betas myself. Of course, my first beta was Windows Vista, which was not a real good, pleasant experience.
No, not at all.
Bad, and then it got reset. But and then Windows 7 was very different. The beta was not a private beta, it was a public preview, and Windows 10 is the same thing. And this is the thing about Windows 10. A lot of people might have read some stories last week about Windows 10 being a keylogger. There was this, because of the terms of service, when you sign up to be a preview person for Microsoft with Windows 10, you're basically agreeing to allow them to collect telemetry from your system about how you use Windows 10, how Windows 10 runs, what hardware it's on, all these kind of things. And plus, as you saw, we talked about in the interface, you get asked questions every once in a while about how you like doing that or didn't like doing that. Well, first off, Windows 10 is not doing key logging. It's not logging every keystroke you do. Windows 10 is doing, will report telemetry and report data to Microsoft for how you use the system and how we physically, it's why they made the changes they said they made in Windows 8. If you roll down, go down to the one, just scroll down the page a little bit, and it is the, there you go, the build process. That's Windows 10 technical preview. I'm pointing at the screen as if you can see me, sorry.
There you go.
This was the post I did after installing 9860 to kind of walk through what that physical process was like. And like I mentioned earlier, the thing that kind of caught me off guard was this dark moment on my computer after the first reboot. There was no screens, the computer lights were on, and my disk drive, there you go, those are perfect. The slow build ring and the fast build ring. So if you open up the second image there, yeah, there you go, because this shows both of them. So you can see Canary are daily builds. After Canary validates a build, it goes out to the operating system group. Then once they validate it, it goes out to Microsoft. Anybody in Microsoft can connect to the servers there on Microsoft Campus and get that build of Windows 10. And before, it used to be another element of testing that would happen, but now the Windows Insiders Fast will get it after the Microsoft group does, and then once it's validated through us, it will go out to the people who choose to go slow and get slower builds. So the Insider Fast may see different builds that eventually won't necessarily go to the slow folks. So it's a little riskier. There's a chance there for things to be a little more unstable, but you can see it's gone through 2 or 3 rings of testing before it hits that level. So it will be a fairly solid build. And if you go read the Blogging Windows blog, they're blogging there about the issues or known issues and things you might run into, problems. Again, this is not people are using it as a daily driver. Don't get me wrong. I'm using it as a daily driver, but it's not my only system. I've got a backup in case it goes hard, especially if it's a production system.
Right. Yeah. No, for
It's
sure.
impressive, though. I got to tell you, after 2 years of Windows 8 and 8.1, watching them update these apps on a weekly basis now on phone, on desktop, it's a Microsoft we just have never seen before. And this process they're using to do in-build upgrades and updates like they did from 9841 to 9860 is the future of how we're going to update Windows. Windows 10 is the last significant release of Windows, according to Microsoft. And all we will see from that point forward are incremental updates. And so we won't have to be getting used to a whole new interface. And this is the interface that Microsoft has bet the bank on. This is what we'll see on Xbox, phone, Internet of Things devices that are 2 inches screen, all the way up to the great big perceptive pixel screens, the 80 inchers. And it's quite amazing to see this. People want again, it's the same thing we felt doing betas, and before we got into betas and people were doing betas, people love to be on the cutting edge, and that's what folks are embracing about this Windows 10. I think that's why there's so many people, and there's so many people involved in it. I mean, it's just unreal. Could this have happened under Steve Ballmer?
No.
I don't think so either.
No,
I think Satya Nadella was the opportunity to kind of break with the old school and take it in a whole new direction, and it's amazing. And when you listen to those financials today about how Xbox One is doing and Xbox in general, Surface is already profitable. It took Xbox like 6 years to become profitable. Surface is already there, and there's Microsoft building hardware to highlight and feature its OSs now.
Yeah,
so,
no, I think it's this. They're moving at just speeds we have never seen before. So
it used to be every 3 years before an OS came out.
I know. It's pretty cool.
I'm excited about this build and Windows 10 itself. We're expecting it sometime next October, and then after the first of the year, they're going to implement some of the consumer aspect of things. This early stuff is built pointing towards enterprise, but we should see Continuum and the consumer side of things, more touch enhancements come in the new year.